Hello everyone. Welcome to today's video, where you'll be the judge for the stories we bring for you. Am I the bad person if I break up with my fiancée after she showed a startling change of behavior after getting engaged? I just recently proposed to my girlfriend of 2 years, Sharon, like a month and a half ago, and it feels like the second the ring got on her finger, her attitude and behavior took a total 180. The entire time we were dating, we seemed exceptionally compatible, and at least it seemed we shared common beliefs and morals. 7 weeks ago, I proposed and she said yes, and I felt like it was the happiest moment for the two of us. But not even a week later, it's like her attitude totally flipped. I thought I knew all her friends, but one day I came home and there were 6 women I've never seen before, and Sharon introduced me to them. I was curious as to why I was just now meeting them, when I already met Sharon's 2 best friends, Michelle and Octavia, both not present over a year and a half ago. Sharon said she wanted to make sure we were a sure thing before I met her in her circle. I found this strange, not to mention it was a weeknight, and they were quickly draining my wine rack of wine. Sharon still had her own place, but she stayed with me so often she practically lives her. Still, I found it incredibly rude when they left, with 4 empty bottles of rose in their wake. I tried to talk to Sharon about having uninvited guests on weeknights, and she dismissed my grievance very flippantly. More that she brushed me off. The following weeks, she went out with the girls several times, and when she brought the girls to my place, twice without notice, once with notice to appease me, her words, they all treated me like a butler, shaking their empty wine glasses at me for refills. After the 4th time, I made it clear that I will get a locked wine rack. Sharon just called me no fun after that. It gets worse. Sharon decided me, and the girls got off on the wrong foot, and said we should have dinner together at a nice restaurant. Well, I went, and it was not great. The 6 kept prodding me about my life, my house, my career, but deflected every question I asked. It got especially bad at night when they started talking about modern relationships and jealousy. And one of them brought up some key points about relationships that I thought Sharon and I were on the same page about, specifically what-ifs regarding polyamory and being friends with exes. To my shock, Sharon said we shouldn't be too hasty on such decisions, which was a total 180 to how she expressed herself on these things only a month prior, where she was vehemently against keeping ex-intimate partners in friend circles and was staunchly monogamous. The worst part was when the bill arrived, Sharon announced it should be together, and slid me the check. I told her she can't be serious, and we got into a bit of an argument. I ended it by putting my amount down in cash and walked out, leaving them to figure out the rest of the bill. The next days after that, Sharon kept calling me toxic and fragile, but every time I even pushed at it, she would give an apology and promised she was just stressed at work. It's nuts. We haven't even planned the wedding yet. The worst part was this Monday, when at work, I got a Nest doorbell alert, checked and saw Sharon and one of her 6 new friends arriving at my place, going in and exiting with my golf clubs. This was a gift from my father, and it cost a pretty penny too. So Sharon lending it out without my permission got me pissed. I immediately called Sharon and told her and her friend to return the clubs. Sharon tried to gaslight me with, "But you promised to lend the clubs to her boyfriend, remember?" I told her the club's cost would move it into a serious crime, and her friend had an hour to return them or the cops would be called. Sharon kept insisting she got my permission, and I told her to cut the crap. Well, not 45 minutes later I got another notification of Sharon and her friend coming back with the clubs and going inside, leaving them. Sharon's friend flipping off the Nest doorbell on the way out. I got home and saw Sharon's friend literally just through the clubs and back on the living room floor. Sharon tried to talk to me about my toxicity again, and I told her again to cut the crap. I said if I knew this was how she was, I would have never proposed. That seemed to freak her out, and she again insisted that she was stressed from work. But I wasn't buying it anymore. I told her to return the ring and her key, and we would talk about our relationship this weekend. She cried and begged me not to cancel the engagement, and insisted that it was just stress. I told her again we will talk about it this weekend. She finally relented. I had my house rekeyed anyways after she left, just to be safe. Sharon has been texting me constant messages of love and apologies for getting swept up. and insisted she was only wanting to show me off to her close friends. I don't know. I'm just not buying it. The same close friends have been sending me texts daily, calling me toxic and fragile again, saying they knew I wasn't man enough for Sharon or secure enough to share her with friends. A few of my friends that knew Sharon the entire 2 years we were dating were surprised and can't believe she turned hide this quick, and that there must be something missing, or that I am leaving something out. They say I must have said something to trigger her friends to act like this, and I had to have been the AH somewhere along the process. I dunno. It's a lot to take from all directions right now. Let's hear it from the members of our jury. One member said, "Not the bad person. Your friends are idiots and triggered? Nah, nobody normal comes to someone's house uninvited and drinks a ton of the person's wine without permission. That alone is a big no-no. But everything else on top of that? Nope, Sharon needed to be kicked out a long time ago. She and her friends were nothing but disrespectful towards you and your things, and just saw you as someone to use, period. And her behavior shows she did not care as long as she could use you and have access to your things. The only reason she is giving fake apologies is because you leaving means she can't use you anymore. And the same goes for her leech-a-holy friends. Instead of apologizing and want to make it right, be reimbursing you for the things they used, they are insulting you, and she isn't even telling them to stop. So you made the correct choice by not only kicking her out, but not going through with marrying her. Her and her friends are nothing but users who wasn't going to change at all and continue to do you." Another member stated, "NTA, she kept her coven away from you until she had the ring on her finger and thought that it gave her total control. The friends she introduced you to, claiming that they were her best friends, were actually decoys so that you wouldn't see what she really is and what her inner circle really are. She should really have talked to them more when you realized what was happening. She's been playing the victim and claiming she has no idea what could possibly be wrong while her friends have been messaging you calling you names. She played her hand badly and didn't get the backup she needed from her witches. Put this down to a monumental mistake and don't let her back in. Send her the messages from her friends and tell her that the crying and fake apologies won't work because you know how she really feels. Let them fight it out amongst themselves and move on." Someone else has said, "I'm a woman and I will just go ahead and say what a lot of women don't really talk about much. Some women just want to get married. And sometimes these women will find a partner that meets all of their requirements and play the perfect GF role for whatever time it takes. They will say the right things, pretend to like hobbies, etc. Keep certain expectations that might be bothersome to themselves, etc. Once they get that ring, then they start to lay down the actual rules and the actual expectations. A lot of women like this are smart enough to wait until after the actual wedding to flip the script. This one jumped the gun. Now, of course, not all, not even most women are like this, but quite a few are. And guys seem to be completely oblivious to it. Narcissist in general, gender neutral. Guys do this too, though their abuse mode tends to be much more physical than financial/emotional/material. Methinks Sharon figured 2 years would build the sunk cost fallacy and was a little anxious to be herself. I'd be wondering how much she hung out with the Sinister Six while dating. What manners of polyamory did they practice? Finally, another member concluded, 2 years and she didn't introduce you to these friends. She knows how terrible they are and how terrible she is with them. She put on quite a show to get the ring, and now that she thought she had you locked down, she can show her true colors. Unless you are leaving out something, you are definitely NTA. You are not toxic or fragile. You have standards. What she did at the restaurant and with the clubs is toxic. It seems like she wants to show them she has you wrapped around her finger and that you will allow her and them to do whatever they want. I wouldn't give her another chance to use you for what you can do or give to her. No one that loves you would treat you like this, friends or no friends present. I'm sorry this all happened to you, mate. But I'm glad that it happened before you actually married her and were really locked down/trapped. Sounds like you've got a level head on your shoulders and a good heart. OP. Godspeed, my guy. What do the members of the jury think? Is he the AH in this story? Express your verdict down in the comment section. The top comment will be posted on next week's video. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. In life, we may run, but we can't hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.